Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Market Update Show. And today we'll be looking at, is it time to start hedging your positions or not, and how extended QQQ is, as well as we'll be looking at the support and resistance levels for QQQ Sp500, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. So those mega cap tech stocks will give us a better understanding where QQQ will likely be heading. Hedging just means that if you're 100% long currently in your positions, it's a good idea to take some off, like sell a little bit, or you can be adding positions that you will make money when the market drops. So that's what we'll be looking at is QQQ ready to be going back to the downside, because as you can see, we are quite extended on the daily time frame, and we don't want to be adding up here, because even though we know probably in the long run QQQ is going to be higher than where it is today, we don't want to be adding how extended we are. We are up 6.5% just in the past 7 trading days. So essentially this is one straight move up, just like the move we had down here from this A right here to B move. That was 7%. We don't want to be adding. Essentially, if we added right now, you're adding it right here around this level, 6.5%, right? That's one straight move. And next thing you know, we were down 4% in the next little bit, right? So we want to be adding on these pullbacks. Essentially adding over here, you obviously won't be nailing the bottom, but when we do see a turnaround, you can potentially be adding in these areas for the next move up versus adding in the tops of the pivots, right? Let's say you add over here, we drop, we could be chopping around here for some time, because market is actually heading into a weaker season. So from now, mid-July to roughly September, market is a little bit weaker overall in terms of market seasons. So we may, potentially just sideways consolidate and chop around a little bit here, go down a little bit, bounce, and for the next move up from September to the December end of the year move, right? So you don't want to be definitely adding at these peaks, because as a trader, we don't want to be adding on extended, especially on the upside. But once you have a pullback, as now, we still don't have any signs of that yet. I've been talking about hourly uptrends forever. If the bears cannot confirm an hourly downtrend, bears are not going anywhere. And we still have not gone an hourly downtrend. You just have to go to your hourly time frame. And for this whole chart, we do not see an hourly downtrend. A downtrend definition just means a move down, the pivot that is set lower high, and then breaking the prior low. So we don't see any of that yet, just like an uptrend here. A move, this pivot higher than this prior pivot, and we break the prior high. So that's a hourly uptrend continuing from the previous hourly uptrend. As long as the hourly uptrend is intact, bears aren't really going anywhere, because this hourly trend is not even that long of a time frame. So the longer the time frame, obviously the stronger the move is. So right now, QQQ is a monthly, weekly, daily uptrend, hourly uptrend, and any time frame uptrend you can think of. Even if we go to the 5 minutes, QQQ you confirmed a slightly 5-minute downtrend here. See one move, see this pivot right there, candles above, and we confirmed a 5-minute downtrend in the after hours. So 5-minute trend changes happens all the time throughout the day. Not that big of a deal. We had one over here, and no follow through from the bears on the 5-minute downtrend, and then bull just took back over once you see no bear follow through on that mini 5-minute downtrend. So if the bears can't even follow through on a 5-minute downtrend, honestly, bears aren't really going anywhere in terms of downside, because you just can't, especially if you can't even do it on a 5-minute, right? Maybe we have a little bit of weakness after our earnings, but that's not that big of a deal. It's only down like 0.1. So another thing I want to talk about is VIX. So all major sectors today were up together. So when all major sectors go up, VIX is supposed to be quite red in terms of that, especially when all major sectors together goes up. And we're only down by like 0.14% today. That means a lot of people are starting to hedge a little bit into going forward. So that is another thing I want to point out is that we can also start to hedge a little bit going forward because we are quite extended overall in the market, and as well as the VIX is showing us a little bit of signs of that as well. So when will we know if VIX is going to spike? So if we see all major sectors, QQQ, SPY, IWM, the financial sector, XLF, the healthcare sector, XLV, as well as the semiconductor sector, all dropping at the same time to the low of this day, then we will see VIX spiking green. We haven't had that signal for a very long time. We haven't had that signal. I can't even remember the last time we had that signal. When even at this day, when market spiked, we didn't have all major sector at the low. We almost did, and there was still money rotating around the market during that time. And essentially, market ended up bouncing closer to the end of the day. You can see VIX just didn't continue to spike. So I don't even remember the last time when we had that all major sector low thing. Maybe in March, but it's been a while. So if that does happen, the longer it is that it doesn't happen, the more significant that signal will be for the drop, and probably get more follow through. Just like when a lot of stocks hasn't confirmed a monthly uptrend, and it ended up confirming a monthly uptrend, then that signal is a lot stronger, right? So yeah, keep in mind of that. So make sure to position your stop losses and hedging your positions and taking profits, whatever you got to do. All right, take a look at SPY. So SPY hitting my next resistance for 454, and we pretty much closed there. And we are now testing the all-time high structure. We are actually not that far from all-time highs. Let's take a look. So 454 to all-time highs, 5.54%. That's not, yeah, we're actually quite close. And next level for me, 458 level. It's the next resistance here. All of this rejections, supports in this zone. Next level for me for SPY. See if there's any weakness. SPY is a lot stronger today than QQQ. But a little bit of tech rotation out of the money, a little bit into SPY, and still no red flags for QQQ either, because as long as money keeps rotating around, even intra-sector, if let's say money rotates from Google to Microsoft, then that's not that big of a deal. QQQ will continue to go up, right? Overall. So SPY doesn't even have a hourly downtrend as well either. So no red flags at the moment. As long as you can see how much stronger SPY is in the morning. And QQQ confirmed a 5-minute downtrend in the morning there. SPY confirmed a 5-minute uptrend. So if you see that as a bear, right? You're like, and you're trying to short QQQ, you obviously feel very uncomfortable because SPY is forming a 5-minute uptrend a whole day, right? As a bear, you'd be like, I'm probably just gonna get out of my position in QQQ because everywhere else is green, and QQQ is probably gonna go green later at the end of the day because all the other sectors are green. So that's essentially pretty much what happened. Can't really go that far as a bear when every other sector is green, and you have QQQ just showing a slightly weakness in the morning, and then there's no more follow through, and that was it, right? So you watch all sectors when you're trading, even just one sector. You gotta make sure to see what everyone else is doing, right? If everyone else is having a bull run, your sector that is red probably is not going to drop that much either, even if it's a lot weaker, right? So, all right, let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia testing all-time highs. Not much to say. When we were talking about it yesterday here, I was saying this was a lack of follow-through from the bears. This was big enough move where this could have been an hourly downtrend for sure. How big this move is, and when the bears can't do that, that means no follow through from one side, meaning we're going to the other side. So I think that's what happened, and bulls confirmed an hourly uptrend again. And now we are just pretty much testing all-time highs. So this is a new zone right here. This could likely form an equilibrium. It's looking like it. Top of the move, bottom of the move. Bottom of the move is higher than the previous prior move. This move is lower than this move. This move is higher. So that is a tightening range. So we're going to probably tighten up and see where we want to head to. Either going to tighten up into an equilibrium and chop around this zone, or we're just going to continue to test the all-time highs tomorrow for a continuation of the hourly uptrend. Very clear resistance right here, very clear support right here at this 450. So we'll see. If it breaks this all-time high, we're probably going to 500 for psychological resistance. The next resistance, we're not even that far off of it. 5% to 500. So yeah, that's definitely doable in terms of how hot the market has been. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla has earnings tomorrow, so make sure to have your positions ready for it. Earnings is always a gamble. Who knows, right? But chart itself is looking great. I was talking about this gap didn't get filled, lack of bear selling. That means there's very lack of bear selling. If you can't even fill that gap when we were like 50 cents away, and bounce off of that 12 EMA, and bulls never look back. They're up currently 11% from that bounce, and daily uptrend continues. So, like I'm saying, if every trend is in favor of the bulls, don't fight the bulls unless you're just day trading, right? For example, this 60% move or 70% move, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna short at 274 resistance because we have strong resistance there, and I'm just gonna short for a day trade. I would be like, yeah, that would be a great trade, and then you can take your profit after a 5% drop, right? And the last thing you want to do is short and hold, because while every trend is against you, monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, every trend is against you, then the last thing you want to do is hold a position that is opposing that trend. And currently, bulls are in full control. I don't see any weakness in the chart at all. Hourly trend is continuing being your guide. See, hourly uptrend continuing. No fake outs or anything at all. Every pivot is higher than the prior pivot. You can see higher, 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 higher. So it means hourly uptrend is continuing. As long as that continues, bears aren't getting anywhere. Though we are starting to hit that resistance at 295, and if we hit 295, we break that, and 315, this zone is the $1 trillion mark, so that's going to act as a psychological resistance as well. So we'll see how earnings come in. Maybe you'll get really good earnings, and next thing you know, we shot up right there to the after hours, right? We'll see how the gamble goes for earnings. And Apple double top resistance very clear. Now it's a triple top from yesterday. Today, I mean. So yeah, no signs. Very clear chart. No fake outs or anything. Just a triple top, and we formed higher pivot. So you can see this pivot, hourly pivot is higher than this hourly pivot, and it's higher than this hourly pivot. So that's probably a good sign that we're probably going to test it again tomorrow, and probably break it if QQ is green tomorrow. So Apple will be at all-time highs. But like I said, be cautious because we are quite extended on QQQ. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yep, very clear. AMA 12, still our guide, full bull control guide. Has never broken it yet ever since we started looking at it. Still looking line. AMA 12 on the 2-day time frame. It's been bounced off of it for 5 months and pretty much bouncing off of it perfectly. So continue to use it for your guide for full bull control, and we'll see if we can break that triple top. All right, Amazon. Yesterday I talked about it being that we're very likely going to fill the gap because bulls want to retest this higher strong resistance and see if we can act as support. It, even though we didn't fill the gap, it's hard just weak selling again from bears. So Although we did feel that psychological of retest, prior break, retest, bounce. So that's what bulls want to see. Since we tested these resistance over here. Fine. Bull break, retest, bounce, initial bounce. And now it's likely going to act in this chop zone for probably a while. Again, 313 and 316 zone, just like we had this chop zone back here. Bull break, a new chop zone. Bull break, probably a new chop zone again. Tighten up. And we'll see how Amazon goes. Yeah, clear support and resistance zone. And play off those zones. Google. Google's a little bit weaker today compared to other tech stocks. We have it itself still in its chop zone forever. Never broken its chop zone since all the way back here. It's been 2 months. Still very clear support resistance. It's 126 and 125 zone. We have been looking at this for 2 months. So if it can't break that, it's really not going anywhere. And this zone as well is 116. It's the last level of support for any big drop will happen. And bulls held it. So that was a good bounce. Google was stronger last week. So even though it's a little bit weaker today and yesterday, it's not that big of a deal because it was stronger last week. And it just started its daily consolidation today. I mentioned it yesterday where if we have a candle below yesterday, we'll have a daily consolidation. So if we bounce from here, break this resistance, we will confirm a daily uptrend back to Google's favor. So now it's in a neutral trend, and we'll see if the bulls can show up. Right, Microsoft. So Microsoft, this triple top, broke today because of its AI news and never looked back. So once we broke out of this zone, all this bull volume coming in, shot straight up, and Microsoft is at new all-time highs. Retrend is in favor of the bulls. So this is the last thing I'll be shorting, especially Microsoft and Apple when it's at all-time highs. All-time highs means there is not a lot of no resistance because there's no price action here before. There's no Bob, Joe, or Sally that wants to sell to break even at these price levels from previous. So essentially, especially how hot the market is, you get a lot of FOMOs and these bull volume coming in. But as of now, no signs of that yet. Maybe this could be a bull flag. Let's see. Yep, still above 0.382. So maybe you'll bounce here from an hourly bull flag. And the new support zone will be right at this all-time high, it's 350 zone. It's going to get support when we come down here. Or it's going to find a new support after we chop around. But as of now, not enough price action to really know where its new support is other than 350. Meta. Strong, still strong. No signs of weakness at the moment. Broke above. No fake outs either. Every time is a new pivot high. Pivot right there. New pivot high right there. A new pivot high right there. Daily uptrend just keep continuing. Right now we have formed a new pivot high right there at yesterday's low. As long as the bears cannot break any of the pivots, there's no signs of any weakness. That's going to continue. And we will continue to stay with the trend. And same thing. Hourly trend, if you cannot give me an hourly downtrend, I don't want to be shorting. But still, we got to be careful because we're quite extended, as I've been saying. So follow the trend and be cautious, especially when we're super extended on the upside. Hourly chart, still hourly uptrend intact for Meta. And we will likely be testing its 52-week high very soon again. If we can get over this 313, we'll be testing this structure, and we'll test 318 if we do break above this structure. Support, I don't want to see this pivot break. Pivot is the new benchmark support for bulls. Right? That's all I got for you guys. Keep following the trend and be cautious of how extended we are, and don't be adding on FOMOs as well. And if you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another update. Have a great rest of you guys' day.